Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oakland Raiders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First and 10, it's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards the pickup, first down. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Jackson from the shotgun. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 45-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just... gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Jackson. Now the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Ready. Lift your arms. Let's go, team. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll run on first down. Stewart. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Play action. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he's got his big receiver Robinson for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Mariota now. And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a great return here gets us one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And an alley to run. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
A gain of 9 brings up second down at the 27-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. Flush to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
3. Check right. Watch it, 5. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They go play action now. Jackson flushed out right. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 21-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Here's Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's now 3rd down.
Ready? Blue 18. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go. 40.
On 3rd down, Mariota. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down in defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Rolling, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Matt Milano just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Mariota now from the 50. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now Leonard Fournette, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down.
Double tight, double tight. We got 3, fellas, we got 4.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up first and 10 at their own 42. A first down carry for Bell, but he'll work forward for only about a yard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 43-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I hope he Watch your lunch, because I'm about to take you to school.
Throw it. Mariota. That's complete. It's Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
And the Raiders first down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
At the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9. To the air again, Mariota. And Philip Dorsett holds it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Philip Dorsett, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Fournette. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down.
Here we go, here we go. Get your money, get your money. That's right, baby, they don't want it.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That one complete. He finds Shark. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Fournette running out of the gun. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Stewart. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, it's Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Josh Lambo on for the field goal of 32 yards.
The kick by Lambo is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, here we go.
Now Mariota. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey. One.
To throw is Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
55. Hey, eat. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That one caught out wide by Boykin. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
We got 4. Pilot 64, weak. Alpha, rush in. Slam, slam, slam.
They'll throw again. Mariota dancing to his left. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Delta.
D-line, get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Throwing is Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action now. Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the 1st down at around the 22. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mariota firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 48 yards.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
It's our time.
From the red zone now, Mariota caught here by Bell. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Bell. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders get a score closer. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Carlson now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make our score 31-14 now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now, here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. This is Fournette. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
Jackson from the shotgun. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And this one wasn't easy. You had an East Coast team, Charles, going west, playing a night game, but somehow they were able to get the job done.
Yeah, when you talk about playing